So you make a good point, Jack. I'm not even sure if it's complacency. I think it's almost more of an inferiority complex. And I think a big chunk of it has to do with when Klinsman was manager. And just, his constant shit talking of MLS and the American system, which obviously has flaws. But, I mean, when you denigrate the league to that degree and 3/4 of your players are MLS players, they step on the pitch having one of two mentalities, it seems. One being, I have to do incredible things to impress my manager and overcome, this perception he has, or just that, I play in this lesser than league, so I'm a lesser than player. And I think one thing Bruce Arena really brings to the table, and that's partially why he got the job, is his experience with MLS and the fact that in order to do well in these qualifiers, he's going to have to bring in a bunch of MLS guys who he's got to cobble together a system and cobble together wins. And I think hopefully what you'll see is a bit more of an inspired team on Friday, a team with a little more confidence. And I think Bruce Arena, if that happens, you have to give some credit to Bruce Arena for imparting that on the team.
No, I was always very critical of Bruce Arena. Kind of one of those things where like you hate them because they're good. I hated Jurgen Klinsmann. I was ready to fire him after the World Cup in 2014. Headaches. He gives me headaches.
The arrogance was just too much for me.
He thought he was so great. Like, great, he won the World Cup with West Germany when they did. But for the love of God, he's never done anything really great or proven as a freaking manager. U.S. Soccer wasted, 5 years, 6 years on him? Ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, he was still talking about like he needed more time to impose his system in like the third or fourth year. And like as a manager, like what?
Yeah.
I get that like you need some time, and especially with something as complex as the U.S. soccer program, you need to, have a chance to work your magic, but like you can't be offering up excuses 3 or 4 years in. And I think Klinsmann did ride his coattails of success as a player and a little too long.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Klinsmann. Anyways, you wanna touch on a few headlines within the men's national team?
Let's do it.
Oh, so coming out most recently, I guess we'll just go in terms of timeliness. Liverpool, Everton, West Ham, and a variety of other English clubs reportedly keen on getting the signature of Bobby Wood from Germany this summer. What do you make of a Bobby Wood move to England? Do you think it'd be positive for his career?
Like so many deals involving U.S. men's national team players, it involves some playtime, if he's going to be able to see the pitch or not. That being said, it would get him out of Hamburg, who are a hot dumpster fire, really in general.
Would you say they are a dumpster fire?
You could, if you're looking to make a really bad pun.
I'll see myself out now.
Yeah, I think that'd be good for everyone involved. Just kidding. I love Jay. The bromance is too real. I almost would like to see him go to an upper tier team in Germany where he will get those minutes. That being said, yeah, I think you could see the pitch at West Ham or Everton. Liverpool, I'm a little less sure of, but Jurgen Klopp likes those Americans, so
yeah, that's
like, I don't want to
true.
It's not a direct comparison because I think there are a lot of other things involved with DeAndre Yedlin, including the fact that he's younger. But you don't want to see another DeAndre Yedlin where everyone gets really excited that like, oh, there's an American player at Spurs or Liverpool, but then they just don't see the pitch and it kind of stunts their development. So,
and it torpedoes their career, and they end up on Sunderland and are going to go down to the second division.
Yedlin has been such an integral piece of that Newcastle team, though.
True, that is a good point.
He's holding his own in England actually right now. So
I hope he stays in that Rafa Benitez 11 when they come back up to the Prem next season.
I think he will. He's showing now, I think, the dynamic skills that he never could at Spurs, and he just never got the time to show at Spurs. So happy for him. But again, moving back to Bobby Wood, he's got such good experience in Germany. You hope that a really dramatic change in the expectations that come with a big transfer like that wouldn't weigh on him.
That's true.
But what do you think, Jack? What do you think of
So I feel like I'm a little bit in the minority of U.S. men's national team supporters, if I dare call myself such a thing. I always have liked Bobby Wood, like quite a bit, and this goes.
Me too.
This
I
goes.
wasn't aware that was a hot take amongst American Outlaws.
Yeah, a lot of people dislike him. And this goes all the way back to a couple summers ago when they were playing in Germany on a little like tour that they were on. And Bobby Wood smashed home a game winner, and the U.S. ended up winning that match 3-2 after being down 2-0.
He was so hot in that Netherlands game and the Germany game in that tour.
He was
fantastic. Back when
fantastic.
he was in the third Bundesliga playing for Union Berlin. Or maybe it was the second Bundesliga. He was with Union Berlin. And like, no one's heard of Union Berlin.
Yeah, and then he did a stint with
work in the lower leagues in Germany, and I was just like, how is this guy not getting a look from a Bundesliga side?
And then he did a stint with was it Munich 1892 or whatever, with the second division side or third division side that shares with the Allianz with Bayern.
He kind of bounced around a little bit in Germany, and then found his way at Hamburg, which was has been a great move for him. He's been excellent for them, which the same cannot be said for a lot of their players, but
no, absolutely. He's been kind of a journeyman in around the German soccer pyramid. But I don't know. I think that of those teams that I mentioned, I think the most realistic, obviously, would be West Ham, because let's be honest, Reed's not here. I'm going to talk my shit. West Ham is shit. I hate West Ham. They might be my second least favorite London club, and that includes Tottenham and Chelsea. Just like by nature of like, I love Reed, but like I don't like the culture of the club very much with their stupid owner and like everybody bagging on them that they moved to their new stadium. Their fans are shit and they're fighting each other. Sorry, this is turning into a rant. West Ham, like as a culture, like is so like, I don't know, not a fan of it. It's not what I want to see in football because I don't think it's like supporter friendly. If that makes sense.
It's not a shining example of what we talk about American fan culture a lot. It is not what I don't think either one of us want American fan culture to devolve into.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Reed because he's into that crap. But, like, I don't know. I think that Bobby Wood, like we talked about in those Germany games, the Netherlands on that tour, he's kind of like a grinder, like chip on his shoulder player. He hasn't had, knock on wood, a lot of injury issues in his life. I think he could be a good signing for West Ham. He's strong. He's
so
pretty.
You're saying he's the anti-Andy Carroll.
He's the anti-Andy Carroll. Exactly. He's strong. He's quick. He's pretty good out of the air. He's pretty technically skilled. And like, not to diss West Ham, but like their strikers are shit. Like Carroll is garbage. And I don't really count Lanzini as a true out-and-out forward, and I don't think like Mikel Antonio was an out-and-out forward, or Kouyaté or Sacco or any of these guys that they like to use in Billick's system. So I think Bobby Wood would be a good solution to the West Ham problem.
That's sound logic.
I think he would be very much able to play the West Ham way, and I think it would be good too because we talk about playing time, right? A lot of the time in the EPL, excuse me.
RIP.
Legal's buzzing me in the ear right now. I think like a lot.
Barclays wants to sponsor the show. Tell us a point to the spot.
I think a big thing with success in the EPL is showing that you can do it, right? And so we're going to use Southampton as the poster child here. They have players come in all the time. They sign for cheap, show that they can play in the Premier League. They sell them to Liverpool for £40 million. I think that Bobby Wood playing it in West Ham, having a good season or a good 18 months there, could land him a spot at a club like Spurs. Or I think Spurs. I could actually see him there because I don't think Jansen's going to survive for super long. And I guess I get your thoughts on this, but I think Bobby Wood would almost be like a good cup striker or a good like if Harry Kane needs the night off or, good substitute in the 65th minute. I don't know. He seems like kind of Spursy to me if he can prove it at West Ham.
Well, Spurs have given American players a shot in the past. I mean, hey, if he could score goals, he'd be an upgrade over Vincent Janssen at this point. I like Vincent Janssen a lot, but that's another topic entirely.
I don't think he has a place at Everton. I know they're a little short on strikers, given that they pretty much just have Romelu Lukaku.
Do you
But
really need anyone else though?
he's so good. I know. Should we move on from Bobby Wood?
I was gonna say, what other headlines do we have, Jack?
Just a couple ones in here. Wondolowski getting the call up after the Jordan Morris injury.
Yeah, I think this is kind of another example of the better safe than sorry, where you're gonna get some shit for calling up Chris Wondolowski, but like, a lot of people want to see Dom Dwyer, who just literally just became an American citizen, get this cap. And I would have been all for that. But like if you bring him up and he just flops in the system and doesn't have that familiarity with the other guys, then you don't win, then you get a lot even more shit. So Wondolowski's safe.
Yeah, it wouldn't be great. And one final one that I think is interesting. Copa America coming back to the United States in 2020, and they're no longer going to be playing on the every other year schedule. They actually are going to be a 4-year cycle now, and the tournament is going to align with the European Championships to prevent these weird things with World Cup qualifying, the World Cup, as well as clubs, especially in Europe, being really upset that their players go off and get burned out for another 5-6 weeks over the summer. Did you like the every other year structure, or do you think that this every 4 years will help make Copa America a bigger deal than it's been in the past?
I think it'll help improve the stature of the tournament because it's kind of hard to take a tournament seriously that happens that often. And also, it will make for a very fun summer of football when it's with the Euros. That's a lot of fun matchups to watch.
Do you think we can get the Euros in the United States at the same time Copa America is being played in the United States?
That might be a bit of a stretch.
What if there was a Euro, Copa, Super Cup, and the winners of the European Championships played the winner of Copa America?
That would be a lot of fun.
That would be
pretty cool.
Awesome.
Although we kind of already have that, and it's called the World Cup.
Or it's called El Clasico.
Also true.
Anyways,
I think it'll be fun. One more word on the Copa though. It'll be fun having it back in the States. My one wish is that they make ticket prices a little more reasonable, because that was it was kind of shitty seeing half empty stadiums for this huge tournament.
I think it's so dumb. They should take the German model. Cheap and cheerful. You want to sit in the second level, $15. You want to sit down low, $35. That's what it should be.
And yeah, I mean, you're not going to get rich off these games if you sell, a third of the stadium worth of tickets. You might as well sell it out and make a little less maybe than you would have made otherwise, but have it look better and reflect better in American soccer.
No. Definitely always about inclusivity and making those who would not normally be able to afford to go to expensive ass international matches like these able to go. One final thing now that we're on the topic, I think it would be really interesting if they used some of the new stadiums that don't sit 50,000, but let's say Orlando or Minnesota when they open it up with these safe standing sections. I think that could also be very, very cool and help the atmosphere. Anyways, I think we should move on to the final part of the show where I tell you about the best thing that I've seen today. How's that sound?
I can't wait for this segment, Jay.
So guys, the best thing that I have seen today is my beloved Lucas Podolski, who I was so heartbroken over when they sold him to Galatasaray because I never thought he really got his true shot playing at Arsenal. Of course, he announced his retirement from German international football in recent times. I don't exactly know the timetable on that, but today against England in Germany is the last time that he was ever going to pull on the German international kit for a competitive match. And boy, did he leave himself with a bang. We could make some comments about how committed he was to the performance for the first 66 minutes or so, but I think it was the 69th minute, he smashed home a ball from about, 26, 27 yards out. It was one of those moments where it was like, he knew his number was going to be shown on that little board pretty soon, and he was like, oh, I got the ball, I might as well rip it, and just blasted it into the back of the net. And I don't know if it was Joe Hart or Fraser Forster in goal.
They're pretty much the same at this point.
But whoever it was,
generic England national keeper,
had no chance at getting that ball. Absolutely resounding strike, and I think it's a fun way for him to cap off his international career. Did you see the goal?
I did. It was the most. It was. You're right. It was the perfect way of cap off his career because it was the most Lucas Podolski appearance ever. Terrible for 65 minutes, and then Alicia's an absolute bullet. So fair play to him. Good way to go out. Gotta love him. He's a legend.
Yeah, big ups to Lucas Podolski. Not just great player, but also really really outstanding. Great guy off the pitch. Always was the first guy willing to go. With the Arsenal Foundation, each Christmas the players always go to local hospitals in London, children's hospitals, and deliver presents and take photos and do autographs for like an entire day. And it's not like they're sending. This past year, they all go. It's a first team requirement that they have to go. They get into it. Mesut Ozil, Alexis Sanchez, Ali is there. They're all there. He was always one of the first guys and willing to go out and do that. He was always great with people. He's done a ton for Galatasaray in Turkey with their youth system and developing stuff and getting football pitches out in the middle of Istanbul. And I think we should just give a round of applause to Lucas Podolski here.
He will make a very good manager someday.
I think he's like goofy, but I think he's like the right kind of goofy where he's like a little bit of like, he would be like a little bit of Jurgen Klopp mixed with Antonio Conte goofy. And I think he would be really fun to have on the sideline. It would be a good manager.
Only time will tell.
Only time will tell. Speaking of time, we are out of time. Thank you guys very much for listening to this intellectual talk about football because we were one man short and our IQ score went up quite a bit. So, Andrew, where can they find you on the social, if you will?
At Andrew Ball, BAHL.
Of course, guys, you can find me at Actual Jack Kelly. I am actually Jack Kelly after all. You can find our friend Reed Hammond at That One Could Read. Of course, he was not on the show today and everything was smooth. Don't forget to follow the show, guys, at Point to the Spot with the number 2. Make sure you guys are engaged with us on Twitter. We'd love to talk to our followers. And if there's ever anything you want to hear us talk about on the show, just shoot us a tweet. Make sure to get your questions answered. I don't know. We love to talk to people on Twitter.
We're men of the people at this podcast.
Very true. Also, Bar Fight Bracket Challenge will be making its return. Make sure you keep voting in those ones. And finally, don't forget to check out our partners, AmericanEPLThoughts.com. You can find them on Twitter at AmericanEPL. If our words, I guess if us talking doesn't get it done for you, check out their words. Travis and company over there do a great job of getting content out about every Premier League team. They do it pretty much on a weekly basis. So make sure you guys check them out. For now, though, that is all the time that we have. Thank you all very much for listening. Andrew, thank you for joining me. And until next time, take care.